He'd thought he'd settled it on his own. It was a little strange and sometimes intimidating being in love with someone who studied the human psyche, and he hadn't wanted Kieran worried about him or trying to analyze him. Why the hell had the dream come back? He felt Kieran shift against him. He pulled her into his arms, and she rolled, crystal eyes opening wide when she realized that he was awake. And aroused. Kieran's tangle of auburn hair was a wild mass around her face, emphasizing her eyes and the quick smile that came to her lips. "Ah," she murmured, feeling his arousal against her. "Your fault," he accused. "Well, thankfully. What time is it?" she asked with a soft whisper. He laughed. "Quickie time, or time for a quickie," he said. Her smile deepened, and there was something so sensual about it that it never failed to increase whatever he had begun to feel. In her arms, in the liquid burn of kisses here and there strategically placed, in the swift and intense blaze of arching and writhing and thrusting, all else faded. After, Craig headed for the shower. He was an FBI agent in the criminal division of New York City's branch of the FBI. He could be satisfied in having brought down several killers. But there would be more. A sad fact of the world and humanity. He was blessed to have his job, his vocation, and it was time to go to work. He shoved the dream into the back of his mind. Whatever his day held, he'd already seen the worst that this world could offer. Little did he know. Chapter 1. 2 months later. "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live," Raoul Nicholson said. His voice was low, but passionate. He stared at Kieran Finnegan with eyes that pleaded for understanding. Kieran sat in a chair across from Nicholson, her hands folded on the simple metal desk between them. Nicholson was handcuffed and chained to pegs in the concrete floor at the foot of his side of the table. Nicholson was 48 years old, a thin man, but lean-muscled, wearing a full beard and mustache and long, unkempt brown hair. The man's attorney, Cliff Watkins, stood behind Nicholson, hands folded behind his back, having declined to sit. He'd assured Kieran he would be there just to protect his client, though protecting him seemed a futile effort at times. Kieran liked Watkins. He was clean-shaven and bald, somewhere in his early to mid-40s, wiry in build and calm in demeanor. Despite his client, he wasn't a grandstander. His firm had taken on the case pro bono, but he was doing his best to see that the man was treated fairly. Trying for an innocent plea of any kind didn't seem to be his game. Nicholson could never be deemed innocent. Watkins didn't seem to be concerned with safety issues. He'd shrugged when they'd chained Nicholson down. He'd known a protest would be foolhardy, and for the record alone. Kieran wasn't sure the security measures were necessary. She didn't believe Nicholson was a threat to her because he didn't believe that she was a witch. Or was it all a ruse for an insanity plea? She started to speak, but before she could, he was imploring her again. "Don't you understand? The world is a disaster because no one adheres to the commandments. Those I executed, they weren't men and women. You must believe me. I killed witches. I helped rid the world of monsters. You must obey the commandments. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." "What about thou shalt not murder?" Kieran asked quietly. "It refers to people," Nicholson told her, distressed and shaking his head. "You don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. They were witches, Satan's minions." Nicholson had brutally murdered 5 people. 2 sex workers, a senior at NYU, a fashion designer, and an accountant. Before they had been murdered, the investigations into their deaths had proved he had delivered each one of them a simple message. "I know what you are. You are going to die." The bodies had been found across the city. One downtown, one in the West Village, one in Hell's Kitchen.